Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it has been a long, long time, but we finally got everybody together. We finally got some scheduling conflicts fixed, so we finally got this thing going again. Thanks for joining us today. We're glad to have everybody back. We hope to see everybody over here in the chat. We got some new things happening over there in the chat now. You can show your support by donating some money for whatever reasons. I'll probably end up giving it to a charity if you do. And there's also emojis we can play around with and have stupid fun with. So just that much more thing to keep it interesting. As you can see, we got two of the guys. Alex is MIA. He was supposed to be here. I have no idea where he's at. I'm sure his girlfriend's probably got him doing errands or something for her. But
if it's anything like our beach trip, he'll show up, but like an hour late.
Right, he'll show up right when it's over. He'll show up for the Q&A. Anyway, we got Bubba with us, who's taking a swig of Gatorade at the moment.
Mountain Dew, what's up, everybody? Great to be back. One of the little ones running around behind me over here, but good to be back on here, guys. Hope y'all are all enjoying Sunday.
And, of course, we got Timmy with us as well.
Hey, guys. It's been a while, but right now I'm trying to chase my childhood, so that's what I'm doing.
Nice. As always, we got our tradition. Everybody has their drinks, be it adult or otherwise.
Oh, wait, Joe, is that the coffee mug I gave you?
Yes. I don't know if you guys remember the very first video me and Alex ever did together.
Alex?
Sorry. He just popped up a messenger, so he got me thinking about it. He just messaged. The very first video me and Tim did where we fished against each other, I beat him, and I won a nice set of nice, literally, no pun intended, nice stainless steelware.
That reminds me, talking about beating him, we need to run through the George's Lake lunch bet story tonight.
Oh, nice. We can add that to
it. we need to do that tonight. I got that on video that I just hadn't edited or uploaded, but that needs to be talked about.
Rusty, the only guy that commented, you are in for a treat for this story.
Rusty, it is picture perfect. The group three of us here is very typical of our kind of shenanigans.
Not quite Guggen style, but, you know, the white trash version.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, what was like the poor man Scott Martin challenge?
Yep.
So Alex said he never could make it. I'm pretty sure I got two other witnesses that saw in the chat that he said, yes, I can make bait shop talk.
Whatever, let's move on.
Sorry. 904 Fishing is letting us down.
Yeah, but we're not gonna dwell on it and beat him down while he's not here to defend himself.
Oh, he's here somewhere. But so maybe before we get going on, as we get more people in here, and before we get going on the report, the fishing report, Bubba, what's up with the Swamp Man Bass? And
that is my other email that I'm signed into.
It's also Daddy Daycare is the other one.
Yeah, apparently I got them running around all over the place behind me.
He's checked up on. You need to quit chewing Mountain Dew.
No,
Rusty, it's good to see you too, Rusty.
Around our house, Mountain Dew is Daddy's drink. You don't touch that.
Oh, okay. You don't touch Daddy's Dew.
They can have Coke. There we go.
The liquid kind.
Yep.
All right. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. We got a couple of folks watching. We'll jump into the fishing reports. Saltwater and freshwater, large bodies of freshwater for me. The spawn is over for bass. They're done. Now the bluegills are spawning. So the key to that is find the bluegill beds. There's more likely going to be bass hanging around there hoping to get an easy snack. It's kind of like a fat guy just hanging out by the refrigerator. It's close access, and the food's not going anywhere. So that's why they're hanging out around the bluegill spawning habitat. Saltwater, right now, the big species that are coming through are cobia, Spanish mackerel, and of course pompano, which Timmy and Alex have already released a video on that. Yep. I have to kind of go through my hodgepodge of footage and somehow jumble that together into some decent content. But we're targeting the pompano, and we're going to get into that more later. That's later on in the topics. And saltwater, that's really it. Saltwater also, it's getting warmer. The larger flounder should start moving back in, coming in from offshore. So I'll be looking for them too. And they're already starting to catch kingfish. That's what I'm looking forward to doing this summer, is getting offshore finally. you'll be seeing Dinsmore Outdoors, the first offshore videos this year, going offshore, hopefully trying to catch some kingfish. Timmy, anything you want to report?
Yeah, so I haven't really been pond fishing lately, and the last time I went kayaking is dropping off a nice size bait twice, paddling 200 yards. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, it's definitely posted. Let's see here. I just went fishing over at Rodman yesterday. That was actually a good time. We caught a lot of fish. I'm going to drop that video hopefully sometime next week. I thought that the rain was actually going to, affect the fish a little bit. Actually didn't. I did pretty well. And there was a tournament going on that day. And once we actually got back to the ramp, people were like weighing in only 2-3 fish. I'm thinking, what? Like, we were slamming them yesterday, so I don't know what the hell they were doing. But as far as anything else goes, that's pretty much all I got.
Nice. I guess that rain that we got through that front really got them, because what was it was yesterday. We're getting a westerly wind, and there's an old saying, winds from the west, fishing is the best, and I've found that to be true a lot of times. Bubba, you got anything for us?
One that talking about the same time as bluegill spawning. Seen a bunch of tilapia beds here recently too. They're kind of all over the place. Who was it? Get out of the house, go fish. He just put out a video not long ago, or maybe it was an old video. I don't know. I watched one of his videos the other day. He had a collab with a couple of guys where they were doing some tilapia fishing. He caught like a nice little 4-pound bass or something out of it too. But what else? Oh, I'm hearing a lot of good reports from the intercoastal on reds. There's a bunch of slot reds up and down the intercoastal as well. Creek fishing is good this time of year in general, up until it gets hot, for bass, reds, salt, and fresh both. It's good this time of year. That's really about it, I guess, other than what we've been doing lately here.
Oh, yeah. Reds, Bubba, we got to do another trip. Maybe the next time we won't get caught up in crab traps and dropping rods and everything else.
Hey, we got all types of stuff going on. We got kids. We got little dogs barking.
It's chaos, man. Hey, the last time that I went, red fishing, Joe pulled in his PB red. So I'm on fire putting the guide on the reds this year.
Yeah, PB reds. We got to get Timmy a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome, actually. Yes, here in the next few months would be great.
Well, I doubt it will happen on half a dead shrimp like it did with Joe. But
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was a really hungry redfish.
It was. Well, he probably just right place, right time. But a bunch of good reports of them up and down the intercoastal right now. Like Joe said, about to be flounder time. Everything else is on fire right now until it gets too hot.
Yeah, I know the flounder gigging has already started. You can see them out at night. Everybody out there gigging. I got a friend of mine. He's been doing pretty good out there. He's always trying to get me to go, but I'm always working. Yeah,
I passed over. Where was it at? Over one of those bridges over there by the Alamacani, right there at Fort George Inlet the other day. It was early morning, still dark, and there's somebody out there just lighting that whole freaking inlet up.
Man, that's get out the house, go fish's territory. They better get the hell out of there.
I know it. Well, I don't know if he's got any lights on his little setup. He needs to get some because it's good flounder gigging in there. I used to do it a long time ago.
Somebody needs to come up with a video. I'm sure it's probably out there. I want to see somebody come up with a flounder gigging kayak. I know it's got to be out there.
We can rig one up.
Okay, we put it right next to the bullhorns.
That's right. Yep, I can mount a light on both sides of it.
That'd be awesome. All right, I guess we're going to jump into surf fishing. That was what we've done most recently, definitely as a group anyway. Timmy went out to Robin yesterday. But we did a big group get-together. We haven't done one in a while, and we all went surf fishing. It's the first time. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's the second time. We got to take Bubba surf fishing, but the first time with him and me and Timmy. And Pompano was the key target. I had a couple of surf rods. I was itching to get those out there and wet a line. I've been hearing all the reports, seeing the Pompano move up slowly from New Smyrna to St. Augustine to Jack's Beach and finally up around my territory around Nassau Sound, Fernandina. So, and they're keepers. There's one huge one and some keeper. We never caught any undersides Pompano. Well,
Well,
Timmy thought we had undersized one, but it turned out to be size, and he listened to some other scenarios and put it back. Just a public service announcement: that a keeper size pompano is 11 inches at the fork. Ain't that right, Timmy?
All right. Let's backtrack this a little bit. If you guys have not seen my video, I even put it in the video. But so the guy I was fishing with, and of course these two aren't there. It's a guy I've never met before, and he clearly knew everything about fishing. So I catch this nice freaking size pompano, and he's like, dude, it's got to be 12 inches at the fork. I'm thinking, okay, Joe's not here. This guy's probably right. And so I'm like, okay, he's 11 inches at the fork. Let's go ahead and toss him back. And then Joe reminds me that on the actual ruler that we're measuring him on, it says clearly 11 inches at the fork. I was ready to feed this dude to a damn shark, like no lie.
I was looking to see if I had one laying over here, but it's one of those, sticker rulers that's got the measurements and the picture of the fish and everything on there, so you can see the minimum right there, But that was it. Turned into a heated thing there, where
feelings were hurt that day.
Yeah, they were.
But mine definitely hurt because I was really upset. That was my first. I think it was my first pompano, and I'm excited about it. And this guy just completely stomped on my dreams. So
we got 8 folks watching. Guys, don't be shy. Get over there in the chat. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. Robert Harris has already joined in on us. He's a little bit late. We were just talking about the flounder coming in. But, Robert, the flounder are starting to move in now, the bigger ones. The little ones really don't go anywhere, but the bigger spawner ones are coming in. Pompano versus flounder? I pick pompano. As far as eating, I'm picking pompano on that one.
I like pompano better.
It's like butter in your mouth.
I don't know. I like flounder too.
Stuffed flounder is a close second.
Yeah, I like both. I go on pompano though.
Yeah, pompano is more fun to catch anyway.
Real quick before we move on, why Joe and I were not there to give Timmy advice on the measurement. So we were out there fishing at Amelia Island State Park. If you guys are local, you're probably familiar with it. It is it's one of the few places locally where you can still drive on the beach, and it's sugar sand everywhere. I mean, it even says it whenever you leave the paved road. It says 4x4 only. And Joe, I'm talking to Joe the day before him, and I'm thinking, well, he's gonna be there. He can pull me out. I'm probably gonna get stuck, and he's gonna pull me out. No big deal. Well, it was a nice day. It was like one of the first warm, nice, like beach, real good days of the year. So it's pretty heavily trafficked. So I'm doing it in a 2-wheel drive, slow. Got stuck as soon as I came in, and then we pulled through there. I'm like, all right, well, maybe we can get a running start and just, kind of keep towing all the way through. Got to the next like little skinny point where you couldn't pass anybody. And I got stuck. Joe got stuck trying to pull me out. Guy in front of him got stuck. Guy behind me got stuck. And we had to get Chris, who fished George's Lake with us, to come pull Joe out. And then a guy hooked up in front of him. So we had 3 trucks hooked together, pulling me out. And then somebody had to pull the guy behind me out. And then Alex was there like 20, 30 minutes after that. But it took him about another hour to get down there to us on the beach because they were stuck trying to pull somebody out too. So we weren't there to help Timmy because I took a 2-wheel drive to somewhere I shouldn't have.
The moral of the story is, if you feel the itch to go fish Nassau Sound, you better have a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, and getting out was no problem because there wasn't any traffic there, and we just hooked a tow strap up and did like 30 miles an hour the whole way.
Well, what we did was we actually went the way that we weren't supposed to at the end of the day, but what's the penalty?
Right. But the fishing was surprisingly pretty good. It did, like me and Tim, for the first pompano, it didn't take long. We were probably fishing for like 15, 20 minutes, and the very first fish we got was the targeted species. And then we started catching whiting. And what was really funny was there was a guy leaving him. He had a professional setup. He had the cart. He had like the surf rod bait casters and everything. And he said he didn't catch a single pompano after being out there for 6 hours. And we ended up catching 3 in like 4 hours.
Yeah,
and of course down from us, there's some guys catching them too. And so they're definitely up here, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there. But one more public service announcement. Timmy knows too. These reels right here, These are made by Cast King. It is called the Summer. I don't know if that's going to show up or not. Well, it is, but showing up backwards. It's called a Summer.
It's on your screen.
This is the 5000 series, right? Well, on here they have a blue button that you can push in, and it folds the handle out of the way for storage. The bad thing about this reel is that doesn't hold. So the whole time I'm trying to fight a pompano, this thing is just closing in on me like this without even pushing the button.
Yep.
Do not buy this model of Cast King. I'm sending this back. I'm taking all this is brand new braid, only been used one time. I'm ordering a different spinning reel. I'm putting this braid on the new spinning reel, and I'm sending this back, and I'm getting my $30 back. So just make a service announcement: the white Cast King spinning reels, don't buy them. And another thing too, I don't like the small little handle on a 5000 series reel. This is a pain in the butt.
What if you guys are feeling really nice and want to be American heroes? Buy them, put them all in like a box. Like go anywhere and everywhere. Buy them all. Put them in a box and just burn them, just for the sake of all of us.
Yeah, that particular model, I don't know how in the world people actually recommend that reel. Get out of the house, go fish. We were just talking about you, man. Glad to have you here with us.
Just talk about your tilapia video there. We're talking about tilapia bedding and stuff right now.
So he said the Pissy Fund, and that's the same thing that Bama Beach Fund uses too. Oh man! Sometimes it's nice to be a single person.
Yeah.
I heard it was cheaper by the dozen.
Right. All right. But Tim was talking about paddling out a bait with the surf rod or in the kayak, not the surf rod. I had a pin 9/0 Senator, and I hooked on a half of a Jack Crevalle, and we were going to try to catch a shark with it. And Tim's first experience paddling in the ocean with a kayak was with a bloody Jack Crevalle in the back and half a cinder block or a paver tied to it. So that was his first experience paddling in the ocean, dropping off a shark bait. We had the shark rod go off twice. It cut the line to the cinder block, which was the weight we used to weight it down to the bottom. And when we reeled it in, there were tiny teeth marks on it. It was a shark, but I'm guessing it was either a bonnet head or a small Atlantic sharp nose. I don't know if you guys can see them. Side note, the bluegills have gotten huge, and the male has decided he keeps making beds over here and chasing the females around. So I need to get him moved over to the 125 new aquarium fast because he is destroying this 55-gallon tank.
He's going to beat them girls up, chasing them around in there too, banging them off
He
the
is.
glass.
River Bass has joined us, guys. He's made it. He was nice enough to give us a shout out over there on his page. You guys, if you wonder what I'm talking about, River Bass is also a YouTuber. He's in South Georgia, so he's on the other side of the river of us. He fishes the St. Mary's River and some other places up there around Blackshear and so on, and the Altamaha River. So he says his name implies. Bubba, he might be able to give you a run for your money when it comes to river fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a good challenge, maybe.
Yeah. Let's go and do it, man.
Let's do it. All right. Timmy, I mean, that was really like your first time, no, kidding surf fishing. How'd you like it?
It's actually a lot of fun. I have fished the Nassau Sound, but I was fishing more towards the bridge. If any of you guys have ever seen any of my bridge fishing videos, but it was nice to actually fish with people who knew what they were talking about when it comes to the fish I'm catching. Because I have a habit of catching something, I'm thinking, you know what, this is definitely not the fish it really is. This is definitely a sheep's head, even though it's a pompano or whatever. So it was nice to actually fish with people who knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, until we left to go pull Bubba out.
Hey, we did some fishing after I got back, so it's cool.
Yeah. So like right now we're going to move from saltwater and go to freshwater. And the big topic right now where freshwater is the war on weeds. Right now, FWC, and if you follow any kind of outdoor forums or fishing forums on Facebook or anywhere, FWC is spraying everything. Like, I can understand if you're spraying aquatic vegetation if it poses a navigation hazard, like as in you can't get boats through, or it's clogging up a channel, or they can't get to a dock or a boat ramp, or clogging up things like that. That's perfectly understandable. But when you're going along spraying stuff that's growing on the riverbanks, like that's not bothering anything, it's not in the way of anything, like lily pads and everything, I just don't see the point of it. And they're doing it on every single lake in Florida. I've yet to see a lake that has not been sprayed this year. And I've seen them spray before, but this is in my lifetime, this is the worst I've ever seen. Me and Timmy fished a tournament on Lake Russo down in Central Florida around the Rainbow River. If you guys know where Denellen, Florida is, it's around there. First 2 days are great. Fished Wednesday, Thursday for practice. Great. Timmy shows up Saturday, and FWC also showed up with their airboats and spraying. They killed every lily pad, every hyphen, every bit of freaking hydrilla that they could find, all throughout the river and in Lake Russo. They started inching their way out through there. And like I said before, it wasn't just stuff in the middle. Like it was stuff all along the riverbank. The very next day, you can ask Tim, like I think on Sunday, we tried to find green grass to punch, but everything was already turning orange within 1 day. It died off that quick.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of glad, though, because that's when you and I actually figured out our pattern. See, we completely switched our pattern from Saturday to Sunday. And then on Sunday, that's when we're like, you know what, they're probably close to the wood. And that worked out pretty well. We ended up with a limit.
Well, think past your 1 day tournament fishing, man. This is talking long-term overall health. What is their actual, like, I've never heard it stated from them. Why are they doing it everywhere like that?
All right, so we had an FWC biologist come to the Bass Club and talk, and he said the reason they're doing it is if you let grass continue to grow and grow and grow and grow, eventually it's going to kill itself out, and that will be a giant bio load. And it'll be more than, the water and everything can break down. Versus if they spray it and kill it now while it's small, it's a smaller bio load, and it can handle it. So essentially they're saying it's like doing a controlled burn in the forestry side of the house. But it's not really a controlled burn because they're killing everything everywhere. I mean, at least like go every other lake if you're going to do it or something. They're doing everything. Kissimmee, Harris, Okeechobee, St. Johns River. St. Johns River does not have one blade of eelgrass in it when that used to be the go-to. And everybody's wondering, why is the river water so nasty? Why is everything dying out? Why are we getting all this algae? Because there's no grass to filter the pollution.
Yeah, you're killing your filter.
Right. It's kind of like, back in, what was it, the 20s or whatever, when they had the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma. There was no root structure to hold dirt down, so it just blew away. So same scenario. There's no root structure to hold the mud, the sand, the silt. So it makes the water bad, which gives you an algae bloom, which chokes out everything, which kills fish. And also it's starving the manatees out too. I've seen manatees come out of the water to eat, arrowheads and cattails and stuff like that. So that's been normal. But this year, with there being nothing to eat because all that's dead, they're getting so hungry they're coming out of the water eating Spanish moss that's hanging off of the cypress trees, and that's pretty damn hungry. So it's affecting everything, even all the way out to the ocean. Like the herbicides and everything that they're spraying in Lake Okeechobee is going out the St. Lucie River, and it's going out into the Gulf Stream, and it's all that herbicide is still in the water, and it's killing all the grass flats out on the salt flats. So all that vegetation for permit and tarpon and bonefish and sea trout and everything and shrimp for them to hide in, it's all dying off because of the spraying that's happening, hundreds of miles inland, and it's a damn shame. And I for people that are biologists and see this stuff, you think it'd be like, okay, let's back off on this, but it's all about the same thing. Everything else in the world, it's all about money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got this money allotted for this. We're going to use it.
So guys, if you want to help, you're saying all these bad things, Joe. What can we do? The best thing to do is social media. I mean, it's twofold. If you see this going on, if you see the repercussions from this going on, video it, photo it, put it out on social media. Tag FWC, tag Florida Clean Water Act, tag everybody you can in it. So, tag the governor. Tag the governor, tag your congressman. In our case, we got John Rutherford as a congressman. Tag your officials. Let them know that you will not tolerate this and something needs to be done. They need to be restoring aquatic wetlands right now instead of destroying them.
Yeah, like somebody actually went to the courthouse. I think the courthouse was actually open to take opinions on the topic. Down south towards Lewiston, they actually did that for Okeechobee. And, I mean, there's videos out there, and they're trying to, nip it in the bud, at the highest level. But it is really becoming a problem. I didn't see it at Rodman, though. I was happy to see that all the wildlife there was still green. They're not spraying Rodman, but there's probably a reason for that. But in any other situation,
you're behind on that one. They've already sprayed Rodman.
Yeah, they spray Rodman all the time, and then they do a lot of times they'll control Rodman with the drawdown.
Right, dams and a lot of dams and reservoirs. That's how they'll control it.
I
have been there where they sprayed it. So bass tournaments have been kind of a roller coaster for me. I've had a first, a second, and a first, but also I've had a couple ninth place tournament with Timmy. I only got 4 fish the first day, and when I thought I was really on them, I was catching 3s and 4s, and then ended up only catching like 1s and 2s. And then 5th day, I managed to get a limit with Timmy, helping figure out how to get a pattern. They went from being scattered in what grass was left to concentrating on the hard structure when that wind shift came. It started blowing out of the south-southeast when before it was blowing out of the west-northwest. And it's crazy. Just a wind change direction can turn a fish off so quick and make them start doing a whole different pattern. What was the other one? St. John's River. Exact same situation. We had a tournament 2 weeks ago out of Green Cove Springs, out of Trout Creek in St. John's River. They're still kind of spawning post-spawn, so there's fry garters out at that time. And so they're hanging out in the canals. They like to spawn in the canals. They're not going to leave there for a little while, even after their fish hatch. So I went to the canals, catching the same thing, 4s and 6s and 3-pounders, and just killing them on a moving bait. The very next day on the tournament, wind change is totally different. Ended up only catching 2 bass that tournament and losing 1, which I thought at the beginning of the morning wasn't going to be that big of a deal, but it turned out to be a big deal. 16 pounds won that tournament. That shows you how tough that was on the St. Johns River. Before you take like 20-something pounds.
Yeah, and a month, 2 months ago, they pulled out 40-pound bags and junk.
Right. I'm working on a new video right now. I'll probably have it up tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then like early Tuesday. A tournament I won. So spoilers on the Lake Santa Fe. Ended up finding a pattern on the cypress trees with a chatterbait. At first, I thought they were going to be the edge on the Kissimmee grass sitting in the hydrilla that's sitting right off on the underneath, and they ended up being shallower because the water was so high, and they were trying to get back to that bank, but the water was so shallow they were sitting out there on the cypress trees. And as soon as you pull a chatterbait by that cypress tree, just wham! I'm talking 4.5s and 5s to grab it. And ended up getting a 6 off the bed. So it was just an awesome tournament. I was not expecting to get a bag that big. But even then, it goes to show you, even with me having a 20-pound bag, there's a guy right behind me with the 18. So if I would have just missed one of those fish, I'd have been out of it.
Then I think I was just paired up with the wrong person then. Santa Fe and I both have a love-hate relationship, and that was the hate moment for that tournament.
Did you love it?
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So, Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. It's like I said, Santa Fe owed me one. As many times as I fished in fish tournaments, Santa Fe definitely owed me one. Now we have another tournament on the Santa Fe coming up. It'll be more towards the fall. So I'm looking forward to that and see if that pattern still holds. Very doubtful. I mean, if you go back and you got the exact same pattern hold, that's crazy because bass are always changing with the seasons. My original plan might actually hold up. They might be on the outside of the grass now. Last year when I caught my big ones, I had to punch in the Kissimmee grass. So they're always changing. Go ahead, Bubba.
What?
I thought you were saying something. Wake up, man. We're doing
No,
a show.
I'm awake. I was looking at maps, actually. I was looking to see how far away like Orange Lake and Loch Loosa was from Santa Fe.
Right. So if you guys have been listening, you're hearing the tournament buzz right now. Orange Lake is on fire. For a couple of years, they did a big drawdown on it, and the bass fishing was just not too good. Well, the water's back up, and they were killing it. They were catching like 30-pound plus bags out of that. So if you guys are saltwater fishing, if you don't understand, a 30-pound bag, that is a very big average for 5 fish. Yeah, you're in the money. You're in the money for sure when it comes to that kind of tournament fishing. Thought about this year. I've been doing bass fishing. Thought about doing a saltwater tournament. If you guys have any experience over there in the chat with saltwater tournament fishing, be it like inshore slam, redfish, sea trout, so on, give your little idea what you feel about saltwater tournaments over there in the chat. We'd love to hear it.
That'd be really cool. Like maybe like a redfish tournament though, or something like that.
I've done a few slam ones back in the day. It's a lot of people. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of people.
A lot of kayak anglers in Jacksonville too.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's you might have to get moving out of your spot a little bit. Don't go out there with an idea of I'm going here, I'm going there, because it's probably going to be somebody sitting on it. But I mean, it's fun. It doesn't seem. I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can kind of get into as much. Like I prefer bass fishing, I guess. I don't want to start up that argument because I know it'll happen. But I prefer bass fishing over like the saltwater tournaments. But I've done a few of them. Yeah,
I've gone over this in many of my videos, and I've said it on here before. To me, saltwater fishing, that's going out and getting groceries. I rather eat saltwater fish than freshwater. And bass fishing to me is more sport. That's more tournament. That's more more of a mind game, figuring out what they're doing. Saltwater fishing to me is going to go fill up the freezer and fill up the frying pan. But to each his own. I mean, like I love catching sea trout on top water. It's freaking awesome. They blow up just like bass. It's exciting to see them bust and fish with them, fish and catching artificial. Something I like to do this year is catch a redfish on top water. I have yet to catch a redfish fishing top water.
I've done it a bunch, man. It's fun. I've caught them bass fishing because I do a lot of brackish water fishing. I've caught one on a freaking weightless lizard topwater before.
I don't know what they think that is.
Just something swimming on top. I don't know, but they'll crush a whopper plopper too. I can tell you that.
That's what I was going to say. My next kayak trip out is going to be artificial only, and I'm going to throw a whopper plopper. I got one set aside just for that trip.
Yeah, get you like a bone colored one or something. It's they will crush it.
This one's kind of like sea trout color with neon in it.
You ever seen? There's some kid YouTuber. I think he's down South Florida, Lawson Lindsay.
Yeah, he always out his dad's boat.
Yeah. He's got a video catching, I think, jacks on the whopper plopper, and they're just smashing the hell out of it.
All right, I gotta check that guy out. But hey, guys, I do have to hop off. The wife is waving me down. We got food to cook, and we've got meal preps and everything else. So
I know what you're meal prepper for. You're already skinny as it is.
That is true. I look at Alex, and I'm thinking, you know what? That's what I want to be.
Look,
what,
you got
21-year-old skinny fella.
You got to eat a bunch of meat and
that's
lift
what
a lot
it
of weight. That's all it is. That's all there is.
You get you some catfish bellies like me and Bubba.
Hey, keep it up here. Don't look down there.
Joe, you're the only person that doesn't have kids but has a dad bod.
That's right. It's hard to do when you don't have the experience like that, but I managed to pull it off.
All right, guys.
All right, Timmy. We'll see you later.
On, guys.
Thanks for showing up for at least a little while.
I'll tell the George's Lake story here in a minute.
Awesome. I'll try. I'll keep you guys on live while I'm eating tacos. I didn't want that crunch to go on the live. So
all right, put it on mute. I don't care.
Yeah, Rusty. I guess I've done more saltwater fishing than I have freshwater. It's really been the last I don't know, probably since me and Joe hooked up that I started doing almost strictly freshwater. The thing with me with saltwater has always been finding fish. Like if you can find them, you're gonna catch them pretty much. You can find them freshwater, like bass fishing. You can find them, and then you got to figure out what they want and how they want it. If I go out to find reds on grass or an oyster bar or something, if they're there, I can throw whatever I want to. I mean, I've had them hit chatterbaits and, like we were just saying, lizards. And, if you find them, you can hit them. Throw two colors and figure out which one they want and where they're at.
Look now, we're up to 10. We're up to 10 people. I don't know who they are. Oh, we hit 11 for a hot minute. I don't need to shut up. They're leaving.
But bass fishing, that's I just it's so much harder, I think, to kind of dial it in. Like a lot of people can go out and catch a bunch of dink numbers and stuff like that, but you got to figure out where they're at. Then you got to figure out what they want and how they want it. It's just a lot harder, I think. And I've been so into that there. Tim's a big fan there. So before we move on from tournament stuff, though, too far, not really a tournament. We did a nice little 2 versus 2 here recently. We took Chris that fishes the same bass club with Joe and Timmy. Then those two on his boat, me and Joe on Joe's boat. We're doing the 2 biggest fish per boat. So like if I caught 2 10-pounders, then that would be what we weighed in or whatever. So we're doing that on George's Lake, not Lake George. And if you've never been there, the few times I've been there, it's been really good fishing. But dude, we started out, none of us, we just kind of friendly fishing, no bet, nothing like that. Started out, we caught a few dinks, nothing crazy. And then I caught a 6 1/4, a little over 6-pounder. And
you're welcome.
Yeah. No sooner. Well, we're sitting there, we're going through working, and some old man on his docks telling us he's catching a bunch, but nothing big. Never seen anything big come out of there. We get like 2 docks down. What'd you have on a chatterbait?
No, I had that jig on, and there were some bulrushes. And I said, "Why don't you flip in them bulrushes with that Senko? Be better to work it than with this jig."
Yeah, he couldn't get in there as well. Yeah, so I tossed it in there, and shoot, there she goes. I turn around and show the old man, look, there's a big one. No sooner, that thing, live well's still filling up. Joe gets on the phone with Timmy. Hey, y'all want to do a bet for lunch? Losers buy lunch. No, there's a 6 1/4 in there.
Right.
But yeah, we went through the day, caught a bunch of numbers. Joe had like a 3 1/2. Add that off, and we almost doubled their weight. They weighed in like 2 1/2 3-pounders that were both Chris's. They caught a bunch of fish though, just nothing big.
If you want to go to a lake and you want to catch a bunch of numbers with the possibility of catching a big fish,
right?
George's Lake is an awesome place to go. It's a small lake. It's not that very big. It's not that well known. I think that's why it's so good. You're going to have to weed through some fish though.
Yeah.
A dark colored Senko was the key for us. You're going to go through. It's going to be 10-incher, 10-incher, 12-incher, 10-incher, bam, 6-pounder out of nowhere, and then it'll be back to 10-inch fish, 10-inch fish, 10-inch fish, 8-pounder.
Yeah,
it's like a shallow water Kingsley Lake, basically.
Right. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a few deep holes. It's got docks. It's got vegetation. And yeah, that day it was right. It's got some chain pickerel in there. That's fun. Some big old bluegill, crappie. And it's got a little bit of everything in there. But yeah, it's not heavy traffic, nothing like that. And it was offshore vegetation. Like the outside edge of it was where we were catching them at that day, and it was dark colors then. When the time before we went, I was crushing them on like a green pumpkin jig. So I guess it can change depending on whatever the weather was. But we just once we got them kind of dialed in, we were just turning on at that point, and we were crushing them. But me and Timmy were riding back to Jacksonville. We were going to stop and get lunch there. We pulled in. I wasn't going to make him get anything expensive. It was Larry's Giant Subs. I told him, I was like, I ain't going to make you pay for it, man. He's like, no, I got it. And I said, nah, we made that bet after we already had that 6 in the live well.
River Bass, and he said if there's ever an open tournament, let him know. He'll come down and donate some money. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But just so you know, River Bassin, there's a place called Whitey's Fish Camp in the St. Johns River. Every Thursday night, they have what they call the working man's tournaments from 3 p.m. till like dark. And that's an open tournament. You can go fish it. Me and Bubba's talking about doing it, but we're always working. So I don't know why they call it working man's tournament unless you live right down the road. And then, believe it or not, there's an open tournament they hold on Sampson Lake also on Thursday nights. You can do that one too. Just if you're got the itch, and that's every Thursday and Wednesday night during the summer. You really want to come down and try one of those tournaments. Pretty good payout. If you're fishing the St. John's, though, in that tournament, we have what they call river rats. It's those guys that have found every shell bar they can within that area. And how they bass fish is they go to one shell bar, no fish. Go to another shell bar, no fish. Go to this shell bar, no fish. Go to this shell bar, no fish. Go to this shell bar. Oh, here's some fish, and they catch that, and that's usually how they win. They just go from shell bar to shell bar to shell bar to shell bar until they find the one with fish on it.
Well, because I can't find a shell bar to save my life, I know every creek right around Whitey's. I know all those creeks by the back of my hand.
About every shell bar I know in the St. Johns River, I think I can count on one hand. And
Yeah.
I ain't caught a fish off of them yet, so it must not be that damn good. If anybody has the magic shell bar that has them year-round, you be sure to send me a private message and let me know.
Yeah, somebody send us some waypoints. We'll make some videos and hide it, all right?
Right? We won't even make a video about it. We'll just take you with us.
Yeah, we'll take you with us. And yeah, we won't let anybody know. But yeah, I know every creek around Whitey's like the back of my hand, though, because I can't find a shell bar to save my life.
Right. Me and Bubba are like classic Florida anglers. We don't fish anything deeper than our hip pocket, and it better be near the bank where we can see something.
Right. Well, it's I mean, in general though, like if you hook up with some of these bass clubs, you can get on like them as a co-angler too, if you're looking to do something like that.
Yeah, that's what Timmy's doing right now in our club. He's fishing as a co-angler, and he's qualifying. He's doing pretty good. He's already got 2 third-place finishes, and this is his first year.
Yeah, so that's and the few times I've fished with Joe in tournaments has been in their club as a co-angler too. So that kind of stuff, you can do that too.
All right. Guys, I haven't shot a video about it, but if any of y'all are on my Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, which I highly recommend that you do, because there's a lot of stuff I put on there that you don't see that gets put on YouTube. So if you want to, you can find it real easy. Instagram, Densmore_outdoors. You can find it on Instagram, or just go on Facebook and search Densmore Outdoors and go ahead and like that. Head on over there and like it. And you'll see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and a lot of stuff that doesn't make it to video. Well, one of those things that didn't make it to video is I created a bait tank. I took a big 55-gallon drum, hooked the battery to it, and a live well pump and an aerator and all kinds of stuff. And the goal for me was I was going to cast net some shad and stock them in the pond. Because last year, for some reason, it was a bad year for the bass in the pond. They were only a year old. They're getting skinny. They were eating themselves out of food. There wasn't much cover. When the bluegill spawned, before they could grow, when they were like still teeny tiny, they eat them all up, and there would be nothing left. They had to wait till the next hatch. They were looking pretty bad off. And this year, I didn't want to chance that again. They were coming off the bed. They were coming off the spawn, so I wanted to make sure they were happy, getting nice and fat and recovering. So I went out to a local pond over on the west side of Jacksonville. I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want anybody to like bombard it and like totally wipe out all the shad in the pond. Cast netted about 100 shad, 150 shad, and some other bait fish like shiners. Dumped them in the pond, and it was amazing to see how fast those bass jumped on those shad. And we're just chasing them all over the pond and taking them out. And I think they pretty much wiped out those 150. So we went back the next week, did the same, and they're getting better. It's getting them back on their feet. I'm happy to report we had a very, very good bluegill spawn. There's bait everywhere. This is the most bluegill I've ever seen spawn in the pond, the most bass I've seen spawn in the pond. And man, they're just killing it this year. It's crazy if you check your water quality, how much it will improve the fish in that habitat. I went through, did my research. I needed to add agricultural lime to the pond. Believe it or not, I needed to add 4 tons. Let me tell you, if you want to kill your shoulder and get a workout, try shoveling 4 tons of lime in a 1-acre pond.
We had some classically redneck ideas on how to get that done too, but of course, Joe had to get out there and put some elbow grease and get it in the hard way.
Yeah, still doing it. I ain't all in there yet, but just adding that to it raised the water quality up, and it was a dramatic change in the fish. They're more active, they're more aggressive, and of course, they're spawning way better than I ever seen before. The bluegills are just constantly spawning back to back, and they're occupying parts of the pond they never occupied before. And they're even so good that they're spawning in the tank. It looks like behind me as we speak.
I'm trying to. Well, I think too is you keep the water quality a little bit better, and the pond gets a little more mature. You get a lot more varying sizes and different kinds of stuff, like adding the with the different types of bait fish and stuff, and just periodically adding different structure and everything, I think it's overall you're going to get back on track pretty quick there.
Well, also there's algae and aquatic grasses growing along the edge too, which helps hide that bait fish better than it did last year.
Give them somewhere to hide at, so they make it a little bit longer than just getting destroyed as soon as they get dumped in.
Right, guys, over here in the chat, like Timmy was saying earlier, don't be shy. Go ahead, ask us some questions, interact with us, talk. I mean, what's your experiences? What kind of fishing you guys have been doing? I mean, we love hearing from y'all over there in the chat. Don't just sit back and watch. You can also interact. And speaking of interacting, click that thumbs up button down there in the link, and hit that for us. It really helps us out when you hit that thumbs up button. Right now, we only got 3. I know we've had about probably 20 people come in so far. So go ahead. Doesn't hurt anything. Click it. It helps me and Bubba and Timmy and all of us out.
Well, we're going to be losing Timmy here soon, huh?
He said he was not quite ready to talk about that yet.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
So, whoops. Bubba just leaked out some information.
I don't know. Nothing.
And as he joins in the chat, he'll hear that. He'll hear that in a minute.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, if you're just joining in, there's a delay from what we see live to when things happen on there. Like everybody's just now asking questions, and I made that out about a minute ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much there's a thing. So if you ask a question and we don't get to it right away, that's why, because we're just now coming across it, or there's a delay, I should say. All right, so Rusty, what's your favorite place to fish and a bucket list place you want to fish? Ooh, good questions.
Bucket list for me is going to be peacocks. Yeah, sorry, Tim. Going somewhere down south with you guys and catching peacock bass.
Hang on now, we're talking bucket list stuff here. We can go take a Miami trip on a weekend, no problem. If we're talking bucket list stuff, I want to go down to no crap, the Amazon and catch like a 20-pound peacock.
I think it'd be cooler to go down there, but I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Hey, anyway. I'm in the military, man. I already got all my shots. I'm good.
All right. Well, I mean, I was raised in the swamp. Mosquitoes don't even like me.
That malaria will like you. I got my pills.
Right.
So that'd be my freshwater bucket list.
Yeah.
Saltwater bucket list. Kind of already done it. Going to the Keys and catch a tuna. That's like my favorite saltwater thing.
I want to go down there and bonefish.
I've caught a bonefish, and it was not where you expect it. When people think bonefish, you think like what kind of environment?
Salt flats.
Salt, like the flats.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sand flats. Yeah.
I caught my bonefish, my first and only, in Hawaii when I was stationed there, and I caught in the middle of a channel on squid.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's kind of like that big red. Yeah, not expecting that one, huh?
Yeah. That was back in the day when you had the cameras, you had to like crank over like
right
disposables, snap, and you had to wait till 3 days to get the pictures, and you didn't know how good it was.
Right.
There's the pictures around here somewhere. I don't know. I had some old school album. Get out of the house, go fish the tarpon. You don't have to go far for that, man. We can catch them all day at Nassau Sound at the bridge when they're coming through in August, September.
Yeah, I've caught plenty right there where you put in at all the time. Get out of the house, go fish. Right there at Fort George Inlet. Back when that restaurant used to be there, you always hear me call that the Alamacani because there used to be a restaurant called the Alamacani there.
Yeah, that's where the biker bar was.
Yep, and I used to put in there all the time, and I caught a bunch of tarpon out of there.
Yeah, just put on a big old hog leg mullet.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it go to town. Either you'll get a tarpon or a spinner shark. Either way, if you're in a kayak, you're going to be in for a ride.
Yep, caught plenty of sharks out there doing the same thing. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. You kind of catch me bucket list place there. I'd have to think about that, I guess. But
I told you mine. Panama or just South America.
Yeah.
Or like big peacocks just out there with a big wood chopper. Or what's the biggest whopper plopper they make? I bet that would kill them.
You get a custom whopper plopper foot.
Oh man, I bet that would kill them, man. And like I said, saltwater. I've been really fortunate enough with the Navy. I've been in some awesome saltwater places. Like I said, Hawaii. Fished the Indian Ocean. I caught the biggest sailfish in my life. It was longer than I am tall, and I'm 6 feet. And when I'm picking it up like this, its nose, the end of the base of its nose was at mine, and the tail was still dragging on the ground. It was probably a 150-pound sailfish. It was huge. They get way bigger over there than they do they do here on the Atlantic side. The Atlantic side, they're like freaking like a bluegill.
Michael Leach, that's not my buddy Michael Leach, is it? I met down there by Coley Cove. To answer your question, though, it's yes and yes. It's not open to the public. No, it's private military. You either have to live on it, where you see most of the lake. Be asked if King Louis Lake is open to the military. You have to either live on it, know somebody that lives on it, or be in the military. Yeah.
Now, it used to be open to the public years ago, back when Strickland's Water Park was there. They had a public boat ramp. Yeah. But when Strickland's closed, so did the boat ramp, and that was the end of the public fishing on Kingsley. So either you got to be like Bubba and know somebody that's military to get you on, or know somebody that lives in one of those houses over there.
Yeah, that is kind of like, if anybody watching this too, Joe will tell you I have got just the biggest want to get on Lake Asbury. If some of y'all got me a boat ramp access code, just send me an email or something. I don't know why I want to get on Lake Asbury so bad, just because I can't. But it's the same kind of thing there. You have to know somebody that lives on it or live on it.
Lake Asbury, you're not going to be fishing in 25 feet of water.
No. I mean, that's it's completely different fishery, but same thing though. Is you can't. It's all private. So because it's private, I want to get on it. But
you want to know how you fix that, where you get over that craving and want to fish a lake you can't get on?
Get out there and get skunked.
No, you have what happened to me when Hurricane Irma came through. There's a lake up here where I live. It was called Hamilton Lake, and it was a private lake. Can't fish it, but you can see it from the road. And man, it looks so good. There's stumps and logs everywhere, and lily pads. Well, there's a dam, and when Irma came through, it broke the dam and completely drained the whole lake. So now I don't have to worry about wanting to fish it no more because it's just dirt.
Right.
Well, you saw it when we went to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So Timmy said he's joining us from the chat because he's got a mouthful of tacos. His thing would be, I would love to catch a giant trevally. Let's do some open seas trips. I was talking about that earlier. If you guys are just joining us, you've never seen it on the channel before, because all last year I was mad. Last year was a bad year for me. Between the bass boat engine going out and the air conditioner going out, I just could not get the offshore boat out because I could not afford it, between the CTO membership and the fuel, mostly the fuel, because we're putting ethanol free in it. But me and my father went half and half on a 26-foot center console, and I definitely plan on at least going out once or twice this year in it to catch some king mackerel. And, if we catch a bonus fish like a blackfin or a dolphin or cobia or something that's delicious, I mean, I'll take that too. But, yeah, we're going to get out and do some open water fishing hopefully this year, at least a couple miles out. I'm a little gun shy, but I'll get out there.
I used to do it in a 19-footer with one engine on it, so you can do it, man. Well, don't listen to me. I'm the same guy. It's like, let's go two-wheel drive.
I used to be a lot braver until I had a bad experience with a Yamaha about 10 miles out, and after that it kind of broke me. That's why I have a twin outboard now.
Yeah, that's where that C2 plays for itself. Now everybody loves Yamaha, but I've had bad experience with Yamaha too.
Not everybody. I'm one of them too.
Yeah.
All right. So what's hot right now? What's coming through? What's fighting? All right. So as saltwater goes, your big fish that are coming through right now, like I said, that's hot. I said it earlier in the reports. Spanish mackerel are here. They're here all year round, but the big migration's coming through. If you can get around the Mayport jetties with a gotcha plug or a big heavy casting spoon and just rip it, you're guaranteed to probably get a 5-gallon bucket full of Spanish mackerel. They're coming through, which you have to sort through bluefish. You want to deal with them. They're like saltwater piranhas. Some people love to eat bluefish. I'm not a fan. There's tastier stuff out there. Like we were saying, we went pompano fishing. That's my big target fish that I'm after right now. I'm trying to get some pompano if I'm not getting ready for a bass tournament. Pompano, you can use sand fleas, clams, or fish bites or shrimp. I was catching them on fish bites and shrimp because clams kept coming off the hook. But everything eats a shrimp. I don't know what would be worse to be if you got reincarnated, a shrimp or a shad, because everything is trying to eat you. or catch you.
Yep. Well, hey, real quick on the Spanish here. I'm one of those you don't see it too much anymore. One of those old school planer mackerel tree guys. If you've never seen that before, grab you a #1 planer and a mackerel tree. A mackerel tree is it's about yay long. It's got 4 or 5 hooks on it and a spoon at the end of it, and it's got on all the other little hooks. It's got colored straws on it. And that planer. So a planer, what it'll do is it's like a downrigger that'll flip up whenever you get hooked. So it comes and runs it straight to the top. But kind of acts like a downrigger, keeps it down. But it's like a little flat thing, and they come in different sizes and they're numbered. So the number is going to be how it's got a weight on the bottom of it and a flat plate that kind of digs into the water. And the number is going to be how deep it runs. But that's how I always like Spanish fishing out there. I mean, it's fun throwing a spoon and getting to feel it, hit and hook up and everything. But if you're out there like that's in saltwater, that's fishing for groceries, man. Let's catch 2, 3 of them at a time.
Right. I've played with that, but I didn't have the planer. I had downriggers I was using. Yeah. What you're talking about is actually trolling with a boat. I was talking about for the folks that might not have a boat and they got to wing it out there with a rod.
Yeah, get something with anything that flashes and moves. Throw a spoon. Get the biggest crocodile spoon you can find and wing that sucker out there.
Yep, and for the folks that left the thumbs ups down there, we had a couple more. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank y'all for doing it. It's been a long time since we've done this. It's good to be back. I hope we don't slack on it again and that we keep it going. Freshwater things that's biting. Speckled perch. If you can get up in the pads, they should be spawning. Get you a bucket of minnows and, a float, and cane pole, or spinning rod, or wherever you like to use, and edge up in some lily pads and drop you a minnow down and see if you can't catch some delicious slabs. If those frustrate you, get you some grass shrimp or some worms, and you should be able to catch some shell cracker. And like I said, then the bluegills are spawning too. That's a good way you can get you something to eat in the freshwater. Bass we're talking about, the spawn's over. They're in post-spawn mode. They're hungry. They're roaming the shallows looking. Right before they start going into their summer pattern where they retreat down to the, to the little bit deeper, the deeper structure. So it's still saltwater fishing still on without having to work too hard. So, Bob, that's something we need to do. You may need to go throw some toads over there at Ocean Pond and have a fun day doing that, catching a bunch of them. Rusty wants to know, how far behind the kayak/boat do you keep baits when you troll? I keep mine, I don't know, it's probably about 100 feet when I'm trolling. Kayak, a little shorter, obviously, because, I'm paddling and I don't have the turn radius or enough space to get them away from each other. So kayak, probably about 50 feet, probably about half of that, because you got to think there's no engine running, there's no prop wash in a kayak. You're very, very stealthy in a kayak. Then when I'm trolling for that, I'm usually trolling for sea trout when I'm trolling in a kayak, but I will catch jacks and other things too. And I'll usually have 2 baits kicked out, either live baits on a jig head or some kind of like paddle tail or swimming mullet kind of bait. And usually you'll know when you get hit because they'll double that rod over trying to pull your kayak backwards. Tyler Bean, did you see the 11-pound bass caught in the St. Mary's River? No, I did not, because if I did, I would be saving that picture on my phone. That's insane. I got a feeling he didn't catch it down in the St. Mary's River side I'm at, and me and Bubba fished. I got a feeling he was probably more towards the bigger part of the St. Mary's, probably in the little St. Mary's Rivers where he caught that at.
Tyler, don't tell him that, man, because I don't really like fishing the St. Mary's. I don't need to go out there chasing 11-pounders. Mike Leach, pre-coded by Julian Creek. Opinion for bass right now is good. Now you will find that area of the river is pretty hard to fish. Like if you ask most of the people you see at the dock and stuff around there, they're going to tell you that it's horrible, that it's like a dead zone for fishing. Anywhere between, I don't know, probably Goodby's and before you get to, I don't know, Trout River down there south. Everybody tells you it's horrible unless you get up into like Doctor's Lake, which is either completely on or completely off. Now, I'm one of the opposite kind of guys there. And Tim, if he was in here, he can maybe type it in the chat. He'll tell you that I kind of know that area, that stretch of river real good. I've only been out there with Joe a couple times, time or two. but I know that stretch of river real good, and they're there. You just got to kind of find them. Bass in general right now in this part of the river are post spawn. As soon as it turns hot, they're going to start holding tight cover, going deeper, one or the other. But right now, they're still out hunting. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually kind of excited for it to get hot, because me and Joe found a spot whenever we were having some little Timmy, some boat motor issues, with this local that's pretty good punching. And I'm waiting on it to get hot to go back in there and actually punch pretty hard.
So Tyler said it was at Trader's Hill where they caught the 11-pound bass. And Bubba, me did go by Trader's Hill, if you remember me telling you, that little boat ramp when we put in. But the current, we couldn't really fish it because it got done raining and the current was so damn bad. We picked the worst day to go out there. It ain't even funny. And it was winter. What was it, December, January, something like that?
It was either December or January. It was cold. It was like a warm day in the winter over there, and it was cold. Timmy gave us the report out of Plaquemine City Docks, the bass club. I didn't get to fish today because I had military duties, obviously. He said 12.9 pounds won it. Not a 12-pound bass. I'm talking a bag of 12 pounds. That's a rough day. That's what won it. But in their defense, the tournament got short. If you guys are local to Jacksonville, you know the very bad storms that we had today. And that they got ran off the water early. I think they came off about 11:30 today because the lightning was so bad. So 12.9 won it in Palaca for the St. John's Bass Anglers. I'm just glad that everybody made it safe. Pretty rough. I was just trying to cut my grass in the middle of it. I was a lot safer than being on a boat.
All right, River Batson, that's my St. Mary's river expert. He's even got me beat. The only thing I go to St. Mary's for is bluegills and catfish. I'm done trying for bass. Yeah, 11-pound bass was Don Durr. He put in at Trader's Hill, and folks in Georgia, he put in at Trader's Hill. Don't necessarily mean he caught it at Trader's Hill.
Yeah, where'd it go? There's a lot of juicy stuff looking around there, but I've never done well bass fishing.
Usually in the river, man, you don't get bass that fat unless the water's a little bit slower. That's what makes me think he was more towards the mouth, or not the mouth, but the wider expansion of the St. Mary's. Because the further you get towards the Okefenokee Swamp, the narrower and the shallower it gets.
Michael Leach, no problem, man. If you watch some of my videos, I put in at Julian Creek a lot. So watch the two that I've got with Tim on the St. John's. Those are both putting in at Julian Creek, I think. And there's a few good days where we pulled out like 20-pound bags, kind of mixed around that Julian Creek area.
Oh, I got a question for you.
What's that?
What is like your go-to, or like a spot you go to where you have the utmost confidence in? Like no matter the weather, conditions, whatever, you feel confident the minute you get on that body of water.
Well, what's my goal here? Am I just catching fish, or am I catching big fish?
Catching bass, period.
I can go to Goodby's Creek and catch fish on every other day. You and I went out there when it was like 30 freaking degrees, and but I can put on Goodby's if it's decent enough weather. I can catch fish in there. I know like every dock and where they're at in there, because it literally, if you Google Maps it from my house now to Goodby's Creek is like 5 minutes to the boat ramp, so I know it pretty well.
You guys want to fish Goodby's Creek, you got to get past Timmy first. Ever since he's found that place out, he lives in there now.
I guess I said those videos with me and Tim are put in at Julian. I did put him on Goodby's Creek, and that jugger's in there all the time now.
I'm surprised he ain't gone back to George's.
Yeah. Well, I guess he caught out of the four of us the smallest fish. So.
I'm not sure if I really have a favorite.
That's a good point. Timmy got a good point over there.
The secret pond.
Yeah, that's another one. I can always catch something in there.
I can always catch me a gizzard shad.
Yeah, you probably hook a gizzard shad. Yeah, that's a good one, Timmy. I can always get something out of there too.
All right. Well, we've been kind of rambling on here. We're at the point of the show now. We're at the end. We're definitely over our time slot here. But what we like to usually do it is open it up to y'all for questions. I know y'all been asking questions again, but you can always ask questions about anything right now. I'm talking fishing gear, locations, species, lures, rigs. What our favorite color? What we name our pets? I don't care. Ask us whatever question you want, man. That's the way we like to close out the show. So just go ahead and blow that chat up with questions. You know, if you want to name the bluegill, I don't care. There's sheriff, and sheriff.
I know, I'm kind of like the slowest out of all four of us on putting up videos and stuff too. Oh, he went back to George's already.
I told you.
But I'm about to move, so I haven't put up anything in a while. My camera stuff's packed away somewhere. I got one of my extra rooms in the house right now is like wall-to-wall boxes. Joe's going to help me move in a couple of weeks here. So
yeah, don't let me forget about that.
Oh, I won't. Trust me. But so in the summer, I'm going to get back to putting stuff up regularly. I'm just about to move. We're buying a house even closer to Goodby's Creek. So you'll be out there all the time. Yeah, it's funny though, too. I knew you'd be back out there.
It's like I said, it's a good spot if you want numbers. And you have a chance of catching a big one, but you're definitely gonna get numbers if you're throwing mid-sized baits out there. George's Lake, not to be confused with Lake George. Big difference on that one.
Yeah, big difference. But the first time me and Joe went out there, I don't know if either one of us put a video up on it, but I mean, we caught a ton of fish, and it was, it's one of the few spots that's real close to here that we can get out and jig on real good because there's a lot of shallow structure on sandy bottom to get out and throw a jig at. And we don't really get to pitch jigs that too much because the river around here. There's one for you, Michael Leach. Don't bring a jig to the river if you're new to the area. It's just like throwing a jig in pudding, buddy. It ain't gonna happen.
I just got that visual, like when it's low tide and you see that mud, that slick, stinky mud, just throwing a jig in there, just see it disappear in it.
That's what happened. So yeah, don't go throwing a jig in the river because it ain't gonna happen over here. Swim jigs and stuff, all right, but nah, like pigeon flipping ain't happening. Yeah, man. Catch us sometime. We can get out there and fish. I'll throw anybody on my crappy little boat.
Something I've been fooling around with idea is I would love to do it'd be a great video and it'd be a great way to meet a lot of you guys that tune in and watch us and stay up with the channel, and it's kind of like a way of saying thank you is sometime this year I would like to do a subscriber meet and greet, like have everybody go to like a big spot like Fort George Inlet or Sisters Creek or something. Everybody bring your kayaks and so on, and so we can actually get to meet all y'all face to face. I would love to put something like that on. I think that'd be awesome. And just and even if I didn't fish, if I just went around and filmed you guys out there fishing and enjoying yourself and seeing what you're catching and getting reports, that'd be awesome. If you would like to do something like that, all y'all like to meet up with me, Bubba, and Timmy and Alex, and just get a whole bunch of us together somewhere like that. Let us know. Give us a shout out. Like I said, go to my Facebook. Let me know. So yes, I support this idea. That'd be awesome. I'd show up and just let us know. I think it'd be awesome, Bubba. What do you think of that?
I'd love it. I'd love to get out there with all these guys and do something like that. Put some faces to names kind of thing and kind of grow the community, little small community we got going here. Since he's right there in the chat, get out of the house, go fish. I'm going to get you on that boat and I'm going to put you on some bass fishing for real because I'm tired of watching you catch 3-pounders and act like they're big.
I didn't see. I need to go. Man, I'm sorry to get out of the house, go fish, man. I'm slacking. Like the reason I haven't I finally got the Rodman video up. I'm going to be putting up the other bass tournament video up probably tomorrow because, man, I'm tired. It's been 8 days in a row I've been working, and I've been getting up every morning at like 4:30. So,
Big
O showing up see, that's what we got done talking about, man. All the guys we see all the time. Big O showed up right there at the end. Man, that's awesome. I'm glad he came in there and got to see some of it, even right here at the end. But yeah, get out of the house, go fish. I need to get caught up on some of your videos, man. This been crazy. I'm only one man, and I got a lot to do. River bassing, we will do something else. I know you're not a yak fisherman. You mean that got to get together from bass fishing. You're kind of like how me and Bubba got to know each other. And we'll get the boats out for that one. We'll go wet a line in Florida, and we'll get out the house, go fish. We'll go catch us some bass. So maybe that's what we can do for him. River bassing and fishing my boat, and you can get out the house, go fish in your boat, and we'll go hit one of your creeks.
All right, that sounds like a plan there, fellas.
So it's on balls in y'all's court now, man.
Yep.
Threw it out there. See if you're gonna check it back. And don't buy Cast King Summer Edition spinning reels.
Now, you guys that watch this, you know me, and I'm a fan of their well, at least 2 of their casting reels. And Joe's got one of the black spinning reels that's pretty good too. Now, I reeled in the end of the day that summer one there, that white one, and everything he's saying is true. That thing is horrible. It is not good. Don't buy that reel. It's bad. That button just needs to go. Novel idea. Get out of here. It's trying to simplify something. You know, you got the ones that fold like that. You unscrew it and flip them in. That button ain't happening. I had to, whenever I was just reeling it in one time, and I'm having to hold tension out so it doesn't flip in on itself the whole time. And imagine if you hook something big on that, dude.
Pure junk.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of that one.
Like Bubba was saying, though, they make another one that's like this called the
Centron, yeah.
Centron, something like that. Either way, it's basically the same reel. It's black and blue, and it doesn't have that stupid button on the side of it. I got 3 of those. No problems whatsoever from them. They're actually holding up better than the Abu Garcia spinning reels that I had. But I will never buy these white ones ever again. In fact, this one right here is going back in the mail. I'm getting my $30 back with this one. Yeah. So and I wanted to go surf fishing so bad. I got a Wednesday to Thursday coming up. I figure I go to the beach. Nobody's going to be out there. Not happening. So I'm probably going to end up going to the St. Mary's River and go try to catch some red breast and so on. Just have a relaxing day. I need to go find some driftwood.
Might catch an 11-pounder.
If I catch an 11-pounder on a cricket, that would be a hell of an episode because they ain't a 6-pound test on that.
You caught a damn 40-pound redfish on a half a dead shrimp. So
that's true. Elephants do eat peanuts.
Yep.
But going out there, going to try to find some. So be looking for that too. We got that coming up. I'm finally starting to set up the 120-gallon or 125-gallon aquarium. So this summer, me and Bubba will be heading back to the Santa Fe River / Swanee River and try to catch a Swanee bass to put in there. And you guys know I love catching a little Swanee bass because they are so pretty. And they
I love that river.
And that river is just beautiful. It's classic old Florida.
It is.
You've never been to
that river.
You never been to the Santa Fe River? Definitely go. Be forewarned though, if you go towards the lower end of the Santa Fe River, you're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of inner tubers.
Yeah. Stay away from Jenny Springs.
Stay away from the springs.
Now, if you're watching this and you're 23 years old, go hang out and party at Jenny Springs. It's great. Now that we're a little bit older, I don't want nothing to do with that junk. But I love that river. Swanee bass, I love too. You can even catch some decent largemouth out of there. Nothing crazy giant, but everything in there fights hard as hell because of their river fish like that.
There's actually decent sized largemouth in there. We know that because the water was so clear and we could see them.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't touch anything.
Yeah, you could see them ignoring your bait, which is kind of frustrating. But yeah, I absolutely love that river. Anytime you want to go to Santa Fe, I'll be like, all right, let's go. Yeah, I know. The clearest freaking oxygenated water around, and I caught a mudfish in there.
Right. There's excitement there for a minute. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. I got to get to bed. I am dog tired, but we definitely wanted to come on. We finally had everybody we could get together and start this and do this. So we were way overdue, and we thank every single one of y'all for joining us tonight. When we get done with this, share it with your buddies. Let them know, hey, there's this group of guys. They're up in North Florida called Bait Shop Talk, and you guys need to go check them out. You need to go ahead and click that like button. Like I said, it helps us out. Let us know. We'd love to have you come on as a guest too. If you would be willing, you got a webcam, you got a mic, and you want to come on and join us and be part of the Bait Shop Talk boys, you're more than welcome to come on here and chat with us. So, if you just hit us up in a message and you want to do it, and we'll communicate, we'll get things going. And apparently Spencer B killed his wife. So we got us a troll on here who's a wife killer.
Nice. All right, I'll hit you up. Get out of the house. We gotta hook up, man. We gotta do it. But yep. Thank you guys for watching. Thank everybody for interacting in the chat. The first few times we did it, we didn't get a whole lot going on in the chat over there, but it's good to kind of, build a rapport with you guys. And that's kind of why we do it, I guess. It's fun.
Right. So as always, I'm Joe. He's Bubba. You've been watching Bait Shop Talk, hosted by Dinsmore Outdoors. Remember, we do more Dinsmore. We'll see you out there on the water. Take care, guys. Stay in touch. Bye.
See ya.